Good morning, I'm Jacqueline Morosco of Spirited Practice, and today we are going to do a practice to strengthen your back. So we're actually going to start on our back body, so I invite you to get yourself onto your back safely, and then to start to connect with your breath, noticing how your back body feels on the floor and allowing yourself to be heavy. Your legs can be bent like mine are, or you can straighten them out if that feels okay in your low back. And as you settle in and you're noticing how your body feels, think about how you want to feel when we're done with practice today. And then once you've set your intention, just relax your arms down at your sides. And you're going to move in a way that feels good throughout your shoulders. So inhaling the arms up, you can take them all the way up overhead if that feels good, or just part way. And moving with your breath, inhaling the arms up, exhaling them down. We're going to do one more. And don't rush it, just move with the flow of your breath. Now we're going to take one arm up. As you inhale, turn the head away and exhale back to the center. Alternating sides, inhaling up, exhaling down, turning your head if that feels good in your neck. And again, no rushing here, just breathing and moving and noticing what you feel in your body. We're going to stop after this one and just pause for a moment. Feel your feet on the ground, and if your legs are straight, bend them down, put your feet flat on the ground. We're going to tilt through the pelvis. So on the inhale, you're going to tilt your pubic bone up. On the exhale, tilt it down. Just moving with your breath. It might be challenging to see me moving on the video. It's just a slight tilt through the pelvis. Your low back stays on the floor. And eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop. And now I want you to have your feet about hip width apart. You're going to take your arms out to your side. And again, you're going to move with the breath. And we're still warming up. So we're not going to move as deeply as you possibly can. So you're going to inhale center, exhale maybe 3 to 4 inches over to the side. Inhale back to the center. And then take your second side. Now, as we go through this pose, if you want to deepen and take your knees closer to the floor and that feels good in your body, then I invite you to do so. Inhaling center, exhaling, knees over to the side. Now again, if it sounds inviting, as you turn your knees, you can start to move your head in the opposite direction that your knees are going down to. Again, only adding on if it feels really good in your body. Now for these last few, I want you to bring your knees as deeply as you comfortably can. We're going to pause for a moment on your inhale, come back to the center, take the second side, and again, pausing for a moment, noticing how your body feels. We're going to come back to the center, and then one at a time, bring those knees in towards your chest. We'll take the knees in a circle a couple times in each direction, and then we'll pause, and you're going to have your femurs perpendicular to the floor, hands pressing into your thighs. So isometrically, there's this pushing in with your hands and pushing towards you with your knees. And again, we're going to move with the breath. Inhale is here. Exhale, take those knees in towards your chest. Inhale. Exhale, knees come in. Inhale, knees back to an upright position. And as you're doing this, you probably notice your core is working a little bit here. This is a wonderfully safe way to strengthen the low back and the front of the back too. Now, after this next one, you're going to carefully take your feet to the ground one at a time. I'm going to take my socks off because from here, we are going to make our way into a standing position. So as you're ready, you're going to bring yourself all the way up. Take your hands onto your thighs. Inhale, body up. Exhale, halfway down. Your knees can be bent. Again, we're still warming up the spine and the body, connecting with the breath, noticing how the body feels as you move. And then when you feel ready on one of these exhales, you're going to come all the way down. And this time we're going to come halfway up. And exhale deeply in towards your legs. Of course, in a way that feels good to you. Now, next time you inhale, let's come all the way up. And again, take a pause. Notice how your body's feeling in this next one. I'm going to give you two possibilities. Of course, there are always many. You're going to do the one that feels best in your back body. And so, here, I want you to, I'll show you the first one. You're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale halfway down. Inhale in this position. Exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Another possibility is keep your hands on your hips or your thighs. Inhale up. Exhale halfway down. Inhale again. Exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. So you choose which one feels best in your body. And the important thing here is, one, that it feels good, and two, that you're making sure that you get that pause in. So you inhale, exhale, halfway down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, inhale, all the way up. And remember, your arms can be extended or on your legs or your hips. Remembering that pause. All right, now we're going to do it one more time. Exhale, inhale here. Exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, inhale all the way up. When you get to the top, let's roll through the shoulders. And then I want you to find one tennis ball. And for a moment, as you're checking in with your body, we're going to roll through your foot, noticing how it feels. I always say it, I could stay here for a really long time. We're going to do the second side. All right, and you're going to put that tennis ball off to a safe place. Make your way towards the front of your mat, and your feet are going to be about hip width apart. And we're going to step back with your right foot. The front knee is bent over the ankle. Your back foot is turned out at an angle. And again, you can work with your arms. We're going to take them out to the sides and they're bent, or you can keep your hands on your thigh. So the inhale is going to be knee bent, arms open. Exhale, extend and straighten the leg. Inhale, open. Exhale, extend. Other option, hands on the leg, extend the arm, or you could even keep your hands on your leg the entire time. One more time, and we're going to stay with our knee bent. Take your hands down to the ground, step that back foot forward, and then we're going to take the other foot back. And again, set yourself up with your feet hip width apart, about 1 meter in length. Hands on your thighs. Check out how you want to use your arms. Inhale, elbows bent, knee bent. Exhale, extend. Inhale, exhale. Remember, we're still in that warming up phase, so notice what's happening in your body. Other option, hands on the thighs, thigh. And we're going to do one more. And when your knee bends, we're going to pivot up onto the back toes. Hands come to the ground. Step back into your plank. Bend those knees. Slide back into your down dog. Pedal through those feet. Stretch out the back of your legs. Now, a couple of different options here always. So we're gonna inhale to plank position or up dog, and exhale back into your down dog. Make sure you're using your hands effectively, fingers, pads on the hands, so you're not putting all the weight in your wrists. And again, moving with your breath, inhaling forward and exhaling back. Another option would be to have your knees on the ground, inhale tabletop, exhale child's pose, inhale bring your hips forward, and exhale child's pose. So you do those positions that work for your body. Let's do 2 more. Don't rush it. Notice how your body feels, and when we end, we'll end back in down dog, pedal through your feet, and then you're gonna walk or hop your feet forward into your forward bend. Hands come onto your legs. Inhale halfway up, exhale in, and then let's inhale all the way up. When you get to the top, let's roll through those shoulders. Notice how you're feeling. We're gonna do a little balance here. Actually, I have one other thing I want to do before we do that. So you're either gonna clasp your hands, turn your palms out, work with them over the head, inhale up, exhale into your chair. Another option would be hands on the thighs, inhale up, exhale down. Third option, arms extended out in front. So you're working with that position that feels good to you. Remember to let your ankles, your knees, and your hips all bend. Let's do 2 more. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And when you get to the top, pause, roll through those shoulders, check in, how are you doing right now? And from here, what I want you to do is we're going to, and use a wall or a chair if you'd like to, we're going to reach for the right ankle, and you're going to keep your knee close to your leg, and you're going to start to move that knee front to back. Now, once you've loosened up that quad and the front of that hip flexor, we're going to keep the knee slightly behind the leg, start to extend your right arm or your left arm. We're going to press the hand into the ankle, making space between your buttock and the heel. And if it's comfortable and safe, you're going to start to come forward with your heart. Continue to breathe. And when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll come up, release that foot, take your hands onto your thighs. Inhale up, exhale into your forward bend. Inhale on up, and then let's do the second side. So again, you're reaching for the ankle, moving that knee front to back, making sure that knee is close to your leg so it's not sticking out to the side, and you're breathing. Now when you're ready, you're going to keep that knee behind the standing leg, make some space between your heel and your buttock, extend your other arm out, and start to come forward, leading with your heart. Continue to breathe. And if your hand doesn't come to your ankle, you can use a strap to help you hold that ankle. Continue to breathe, and on an inhale, we'll come up, relax that foot, hands onto your thighs, exhale down into your forward bend, inhale up, and we're gonna do a little eagle pose because we haven't done that one in a long time. So let's bring the arms out to the side. So option here, elbows, forearms, palms together, lifting the elbows off the chest, or take that right arm to center, left elbow over top, backs of the hands and palms together. Sit down like you're sitting into a chair, and then you're gonna keep your knees bent. We're gonna take that right leg over top. You can keep your foot on the ground, keep it lifted, or wrap it around your calf. Lift the elbows up, keep breathing. And on an inhale, we're gonna release, let that energy move out. Your limbs come back to the center. Inhale up, exhale into your forward bend. Inhale up, and we'll do the second side. Left elbow to center, right elbow over top, backs of the hands and palms together. Sit like you're sitting into a chair, And this time, the left foot will come over top. Make sure your knees stay bent, foot on the ground, lifted or wrapped around your calf. Continue to breathe. Find your non-moving spot on the floor to look at. And again, when you're ready to release, on the inhale, extend back to the center. Inhale up, exhale into your forward bend. And inhale back up again. Now we're going to do one more. So on this one, you could keep your back body against the wall. You could have your hands against the wall. You could do it out in the center of the room. We're going to take the weight on the right foot. You're going to cross over the top of the knee. Keep this foot flexed. Hands to the heart center. And you're going to sit like you're sitting into a chair with your legs crossed. And then possibly you're going to start to bring your forearms towards your shin. Wrap your foot around the back of the elbow. Keep breathing. On one of these inhales, let's come all the way up. Release your hands, release your foot. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale back up, and we'll do the second side. So weight in the left foot. Cross that flexed right foot over the knee. Hands to your heart center. Inhale up. Start to exhale down if that's appropriate for you. Start to take your forearms towards your shin. Wrap that foot around the elbow. Keep breathing. And again, when you start to feel complete, come on up. Relax the foot, relax the arms. And from here, we're going to make our way down into a squat position. So you might have your feet wide, toes turned out. You might have a blanket under your heels or a block under your bottom. Hands are going to come to the forehead or the heart center. A nice roundedness in your back body as you're here. Long, smooth breaths. Imagine that any tension is rolling right off your back down into the earth. This is a great time to check in with your body and your breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to release the hands and carefully make our way down onto the ground. And we're going to sit in a wide angled pose, but not so wide that there's pulling in your groin area. Feet are flexed, toes pointing up. Some of you may like to have a blanket under your sit bones if you find yourself kind of, as you're in this position, your back is rounding and you're falling back. If that's the case, you're going to sit on your blanket and then allow your hips to slide down forward so that you can keep your shoulders over your hips. Now, first, we're going to take the hands in front of us on the floor. Inhale up, exhale, slide forward. You're keeping your head in line with your body, and you're noticing how it feels in your body as you're moving back and forth with your breath. No rush here. Now, the next time that you come up, again, without using your hands, because you know I don't like to do that, we're going to take the left foot and bring it in towards the thigh. If your knee is lifted up in the air, I invite you to put something underneath so that you can rest it into the ground. So here you can use a strap or you can use your hands. We're going to turn the belly towards that straight leg. If you're using the strap, you're going to take it on the padded part of the foot. Walk your hands down that strap. Inhale up, exhale towards that leg. Or you could have your hands sliding up and down your leg, or you can hold on to your leg and move with your breath. It all depends how your body's working today and what feels good. You're going to continue to breathe and move. And when you come up this time, you're going to walk yourself up. We're going to take the hands, and you might want something, depending on what surface you're on, you may want something under your knees. We're going to take the hands around the left knee, and I'm moving over onto my double mat, and we're going to slide that right leg behind us, and you're going to make sure that your front leg is at a diagonal, you're on the top of that foot, and that your pelvis is in alignment, your toes are turned under, And the back knee is going to stay off the floor as we go through this process. So I know some of you might be used to keeping your knee down, but we're going to keep it lifted. And then at your own discretion, you're going to make your way down towards the floor onto your elbows or onto a block, or you might even come all the way down onto your chest. So long, smooth breaths, seeing if you can soften as you breathe. And remember that we want to remain alert and somewhat, comfortable and stable in our position. So you're checking in as you're here. And if this does not work for your knees, you can absolutely do the same exact thing we're doing on your back body, holding on to one knee and extending the other leg, keeping the foot flexed and off the floor. So when you're ready, we're going to start to make our way up onto our hands again. We're going to carefully place that back knee on the floor, and we're going to bend the knee and reach your heel towards your buttock. Now, some of you may take the same side hand and start to pull that ankle in towards your buttock, but you're only going to do that if it feels good. And you're going to keep breathing. And again, you may like padding under the parts of your body that are on the floor. Now, when you start to feel complete, we're going to gently release that foot. You're going to take your hips down to the floor, and we're going to sweep that right leg around. You're going to keep your foot flexed here, and you're going to hold on to your foot and the knee and slowly move side to side, keeping your body upright. Some of you might like to cradle that foot, but don't do that if it makes it so that you can't move, right? Keep breathing. And then as you start to feel complete with this, we're going to take that foot onto the floor. You might bring your left heel a little bit closer to your buttock, and you're either having that right foot in front of your left shin or walking it over the knee. You're going to sit up nice and tall, so we're just pivoting around the spine. Right hand comes slightly behind you. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Exhale as you turn your belly towards the inner thigh and you hold on to the front of your knee. Some of you might like to take the elbow to the outside of the knee, and then your head is pointing in whatever direction feels most comfortable for you. Notice how differently you breathe when your body is twisted. Continue to breathe. Notice what's happening in your back body and your hips. On an inhale, we're going to lift up. Exhale, come forward. And then very carefully, we're going to extend our legs, and we'll be back in our starting position with your hands on the floor. Inhaling up, exhaling, walking yourself forward. And just notice if it feels any differently than the first time we did this. Now, next time you come up, we're going to, again, without using our hands, bring in your right foot, pivot your body towards your leg. If you're using a strap, you're going to bring it around the padded part of your leg, padded part of your foot. Inhale up, exhale, slide down. And I'll model all the different ways for you. You're going to continue to move and breathe, making sure there's no pain. And remember, if that knee is floating up in the air, place something underneath it. We're going to do one more. Inhale is up, exhale is in. And as you make your way up this time, checking out how you are on your mat, we're going to sweep that left leg behind us. Again, you're going to check out your positioning. So your knees are actually still hip width apart. You're going to make sure that front leg is at an angle, hands on the floor. Softening your shoulders, breathing. And in your own time, when and if you're ready, you're going to make your way down towards the floor. Continuing to keep that back knee off of the ground, noticing how you use your muscles differently. Sometimes when people drop the knee, then they drop their hip, and so we're trying to avoid that and to strengthen our muscles at the same time. So again, as you're ready, we're going to make our way up onto our hands. Carefully put that knee on the floor. Bend the knee, reaching the heel towards the buttock. And again, some of you will take that same side hand and pull that heel in towards your buttock. Never forcing anything. Continuing to breathe. And when you feel complete, carefully placing that foot on the ground, bringing yourself onto your hips, sweeping your left leg around, keeping that foot flexed, holding on to the knee and ankle as you keep your body upright and move through that leg. Again, some of you may want to cradle your leg, only changing position if it enhances how it feels in your body. Again, when you start to feel complete, you're going to take that foot to the floor, maybe bring that right heel towards your left buttock. Some of you will cross that foot over your thigh, left hand behind you, right arm reaches up, nice big inhale. As you exhale, grab the front of the knee, belly towards the inner thigh or elbow to the outside. Keep breathing. Finding a comfortable place for your head, noticing what's happening in your body as you breathe here. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale up, exhale, come back to the center, carefully uncross your legs. We're going to make our way for a moment onto our hands and knees, and if that doesn't work for you, you could do the same thing on your back body. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down into child's pose. Just a couple of times to come back to our center, back to our breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to carefully make your way down onto your belly, hands in next to the chest, elbows pressing towards your body. And you're going to find a comfortable place to put your head. We're going to move through just the legs for a moment. So the inhale is going to be, you're going to lift up your leg. If that doesn't work for your back body, you're going to bend the knee. And we're going to alternate between the legs. So you're relaxing somewhat through the upper body as you're moving through your legs. And if that doesn't work for you, you're bending through the knee, keeping your foot flexed. Now, next time you finish your second side, we're going to explore lifting both legs. So again, you're going to lift, inhale, lift up, exhale, take them to the ground, and you might be bending your knees. You're finding that movement that works for your body. Now, next time you exhale down, we're going to wiggle through your hips a little bit, relax your pelvis, and we're going to focus on the upper body for a moment. So on the inhale, we're going to lift the head and the hands. Inhale up, exhale down. Moving with your breath and in a way that works for your body. Never forcing. We're going to do one more. And now we're going to put those two movements together. So we're going to lift the upper body and the legs on the inhale, exhale down to the ground. And remember, the other option is to bend both legs. Breathing and moving in a way that works and feels good to your body. We're going to do one more. And when you come down, and I have to figure out a good way for you to be able to see this. So we're going to extend the arms out in front of us. You're going to bend your right elbow a little bit, and we're going to take that left arm underneath, and then you're going to walk the right arm over top. Now you're going to find that place that works for your body, and some of you might work your forehead towards the ground. And my knees are bent because that's the only way you can see my upper body, but your legs are straight on the floor. And you're breathing and softening and noticing how you feel as you're here. And then very carefully, when you're ready, we're going to undo those arms. You're going to bend that left elbow, walk your right arm underneath. If appropriate for you, you are going to take that left arm across. And again, some of you are going to start to work your forehead towards the ground. Continue to breathe. making sure there's no strain happening. And then when you're ready, very carefully, you're going to undo both of those arms. And then from here, again, we're going to make our way up onto our hands and knees. And you're going to come down into a child's pose, or you're coming onto your back body and bringing your knees towards your chest. Now from here, we are going to very carefully get ourselves down onto our back body. And so, and you'll need something like a block or a folded towel or blanket. So very carefully, you're going to get yourself down onto your back body. We're going to keep the knees bent, and we're going to place a block between those knees, or whatever it is you're using, so that you're pressing in towards the center. Your vision is pointing up towards the ceiling, your arms are down at your sides, and we're going to start to inhale, lift up the pelvis, and exhale down, and your chest will most likely come up as well. Most of us, when we're holding on to a block, don't come as high as we do it as if we're not holding on to one. We're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale up, exhale down. And the next time that your hips come down to the ground, we're going to very carefully lift our feet up. You're holding on to that block. Your arms are out to the sides for balance. And we're going to move side to side, but I don't want you to move as deeply as you possibly can. The important part here is you're going to come down at an angle, like you're trying to reach your knees towards your hand. So you inhale to the center, you exhale your knees towards your hand. You're moving in a way, of course, that feels good in your body. And you're moving with your breath. I know for some of us this is a lot of work, but you're making sure that you're not doing anything that doesn't feel good in your body. 1 more time to the second side. And when you come back to the center, we're going to take our feet carefully down to the floor, one at a time. Remove your block. And we're going to start to move the knees over to the side and your head in the opposite direction. Inhaling center, exhaling to the second side. Now we're a little bit warmer than when we first did this at the beginning of the practice, so if your knees want to deepen a little bit more, you're welcome to do that. But always, always you're moving in a way that feels good in your body. Now next time you finish the second side, you're going to pause for a moment. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling. And then one at a time, you're going to lift those knees up towards your body, feet off the floor. We're going to straighten the legs. Your feet are flexed. And here, we're just actually moving through the legs. So your hands stay on your legs. Inhale is here. And then we're going to exhale, slide those legs towards your body. So inhale, the knees come away from your body. Exhale, the knees come towards your body. You're breathing and noticing how your body feels as you're doing this. And the next time, we're going to bend both of those knees. Carefully take your feet to the floor one at a time. We're going to roll over to the side and help yourself come up with your hands. And then I want you to find a bolster or a folded blanket, and you're going to take that vertically onto your mat. Some of you might like to have your bolster or blanket elevated a little bit. I'm going to work with my bolster flat. And you're going to bring your blanket or your bolster right up to your back body. Carefully place yourself on your bolster or whatever you're using. Open your knees out to the side, bottoms of the feet together, relaxing your arms at your side. So it's really important that when you're in this position, you're really comfortable. So if it feels better to have your knees together or your legs extended, you're going to do that. If it doesn't feel good in your back body, having something underneath it, just lay flat on your back. So finding that comfortable place, you might place your hands on your body if your elbows can stay on the floor. But I just want you to relax with your breath and soften your body. Seeing if you can soften your shoulders and the muscles in your face and your throat. We're going to stay here for a little bit, and from here we're going to actually move directly into Shavasana. So I want you to check in with your body. If you're ready to make your way into Shavasana, then you're going to start to do that. If you're really comfortable in this position, then you might continue to move into Shavasana in that position. If your legs are open though, you might put some support under your knees so that your groin does not overstretch. So very carefully, you're going to start to think about where you want to be, and you're going to maybe put on your socks and your sweatshirt or grab a blanket and get yourself in position for Shavasana. And so start to get yourself settled on the ground, inviting yourself to be completely supported by the ground beneath you. If your eyes are not already, you're allowing them to soften and close. And then as you are softening, I invite you to invite in a beautiful golden or white light, breathing it in through your nostrils. And with each in-breath, more light comes and fills your head. And then as you start to exhale, that light is starting to permeate all the cells in your body, moving slowly or quickly, whatever works for you and your mind and your body. So breathing in light, exhale, the light starts to move into your cells. And eventually we're coming to a place where your entire body, each and every cell, is filled with light, so much that that light is emanating off of your body. Just allowing yourself to soften. You're completely supported. When I focus on the light, I become the light. Vishoka jyotish mati. Vishoka jyotish mati. Vishoka jyotish mati. When I focus on the light, I become the light. And so as you start to become aware of your breath and your body, noticing how you're feeling and thinking about how you might like to move, And I can tell some of you want to stay down there. So you can choose to do that. If you are making your way up into a seated position, I thought that we would do that chant together. And as far as the light goes, you can continue to, think about its presence in your body. You can ask it to dissipate. And so when you're ready, I will say a part of the chant, and then I'll say it again, and you can say it with me. Of course, I won't hear you, but you'll hear me. And you're thinking about that light. When I focus on the light, whatever that means to you, knowledge, wisdom, the sun, life force, life, those are just a few examples. So here we go. Vishoka, vishoka, jyotish mati, jyotish mati. Let's do it again. Vishoka, vishoka, jyotish mati, jyotish mati. Let's do it one more time all together. Vishoka, jyotish mati. So when it is one of the Yoga Sutras in the first chapter. When I focus on the light, I become the light. So thank you for being here with me today, and thank you to all of my teachers, past and present, and to the lands that I do my practice on. And yes, thank you. Namaste.